Okay, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, Blackout Bill here with the 9915 again. It's 15, but it says 99. Overheating issues persist. We had a viewer, y'all know who he is, Outboard Tinker, called me out. Let's call it what it is. He called me out. I ADD'd the channel. He said, Bill, stop changing motors. What happened to the 99? I clearly pointed out you screwed something up. Let's see what happens. Oh, here we are. Let's get out of the way. Thank you for commenting. As always, my man. What did I do wrong? Thermostat's backwards. And I watched the video again. He was right. He nailed it. So what we're going to do first, we're going to pull the whole thing out and leave it no thermostat. See if that helps at all. That's probably, because I know it pumps water. It's intermittent. And I kept the whole bottom cowling off because we're going to retighten the power head bolts a little bit because water was kind of seeping out of all kinds of areas. So I got the water tube here and I took the fuel fitting out so I can have the cowling off, we can run it. And then this way maybe I can tighten the lower unit, tighten the power head as the water's trickling from all these weird spots. See if we can get it tightened up. All right, so let's get to it. Let's show you the mistake on the thermostat. First step, thermostat. Is this the one we sealed with the goop? Probably. Should need heat, it's been out before. If it's giving me such a problem, maybe I should have anti-seized it. Get more of the corrosion out of there. Oh yeah, there's a lot of salt on this one. I don't want nothing to break. I'm sick of these broken stuff. Alright, spring loaded. Alright, let's see what we did wrong. So we get this part right. Gasket. Rubber. Outside ring. Proper. Like that. Thermostat spring. See, that's what I just thought. That spring pushes everything there, and it's like this, so when the thermostat opens, we had it like this. And it does fit that way, which is weird. Okay. Just to verify that that spring goes there, this cups in like this, it's supposed to go like this. And then I don't know what the spring's job is, unless the spring is supposed to stay on the outside and then go in. So we're going to look at that parts diagram again. We had it like this. It's supposed to go like this, pointy end out. The question is, does the spring go there, or does the spring go here? Let's check that parts diagram one more time. Here's the plan. We're going to install no thermostat, and just to verify that it's still overheating with no thermostat. And then once we can verify that the thermostat isn't blocking our water flow. Alright, let's put some fuel to it so we know it runs. Oh, first I want to tighten up these just a little bit. These power head bolts. Okay, this is run test, no thermostat. Heat gun at the ready. We're going to use the muffs this time because the smoke in the barrel is inhibiting the carb and stuff, so hopefully the muffs are enough to give it enough water. Well, we got our heat gun at the ready so we can find out exactly what our cylinders are doing. Anything above 180, I'm shutting it down. I wish I had an electric start here. Make sure your clip is in. LOL. Choke. We know she runs. High idle. cylinder 150, bottom cylinder 130. All right, I want to do one thing because that idle's super high. Ow, smack my ankle with my wedding ring. Ah, dumbass. Okay. If this thing runs cool, this might be the answer to my prayers because I need to get rid of it. Like how Bill needs the money. I need the money. Anyway, it's running cool. It's not even close to overheating. All right, let me just take. I gotta squeeze this in because I can't get the throttle down. It's way too high. If I close this needle, this will take the butterfly and pull it back. That's the other problem too, is that low throttle. The camera is already on the mark. How do we adjust that? This guy. That's not adjustable. This is adjustable. How do I get that out of there? We need this to go backwards. There's the stop screw. Stopping me from going back. That's as far as the cable goes. We need this to go this way. Well, you can edit this out. Oh, you know what I can do? Let's edit this. Because it wasn't pulling back far enough, there's a stop screw here we can mess with to get it high so it doesn't stall when you turn it all the way down. But I just adjusted this, spun it a couple times, pulled this whole section back more, and now it'll slow the idle down really well. So let's start it up again and check that idle. Now we can just push this screw in or out instead of taking off the whole thing. I do love the way this motor runs. This is the problem I always had. At low idle, it doesn't pump. There's no thermostat, so it should be going right. It's not pumping. Pumping now. It's gonna be hot, scalding hot. It needs high throttle. That would tell me that the water pump is weak. But it's definitely steady now. It's just at that low idle. Crawls at a low idle stop. Yeah, see, that's telling me that's a weak water pump. If it won't pump at idle now that we know it pumps on a steady stream at a higher idle, a little bit of throttle. Now, see, now at least it's coming out strong. Probably hot again. Yeah. On the top, but coming down. 192. 120 on the bottom. Why is she missing? dropping the cylinder. When it's at a high enough idle, it's cooling. So we're gonna put a new impeller in. Shouldn't be missing. Likes the higher idle, and higher idle is cooling. That could be muffs, that could be impeller, it could be a lot of things. When we bring it down, it runs. It's not cooling now, it's going to overheat. So that could mean weak impeller. The muffs again could be contributing to that. It also stopped missing. I messed the idle leading mixture screw. I just opened her up a little bit, so it stopped missing. So hopefully that fixes that. It doesn't start cooling until that idle. And the water's not scalding hot anymore, but if I let it idle down where it stops pumping, it'll come out scalding hot because now the power head's getting hotter. So we're gonna change that impeller. Incidentally, that smoke starts to come back when it starts to get hot. So it's almost like the grease is burning off. But that's not scalding hot anymore. I'm cooling the temp. Cylinders are showing 180, anywhere from 160 to 180. Lower unit back off, put a new impeller in it, brand new. We'll look for OEM, we'll see if that helps. Here's the diagram. So we got cup, spring, thermostat, rubber piece. Cup, spring, thermostat this way. Diaphragm, rubber piece. Cup, spring, rubber ham diaphragm, and then spring and cup. There is your correct installation of the thermostat. Spring, cup, spring, thermostat that way, pointed out, rubber frame, spring, cap, bam. Now, putting it back in is sketchy because it doesn't pump water at low idle, so we're gonna have to put a new pump in it. And then if the new pump just doesn't create the pressure we need, which is BS weird, I'll pull the thermostat and we'll run it with that one. In there. All right, let me get the red stuff. All right, you guys get this, right? Spring, cap, thermostat going back in. All right, so here's our impeller. I'm not a fan of that one fin here. It's like bent almost the wrong way, but not quite. Everything looks okay. The only difference I'm seeing is the seal popped out of the top. And the tube, and I have to wash my hands again. The water tube's not exactly tight. It looks a little loosey-goosey there. And this seal had popped out. So let's get a brand new impeller from a website that sells real impellers. And maybe we'll get a new rubber grommet. I have a couple options up there. Let's do that. We put the thermostat back in. Water pump. I put a brand new one in. It's got really thick vanes. A lot of people on the Facebook marketplace or Facebook groups are saying that the aftermarket one doesn't work as well. The thin vanes work better. I don't know, but it's a new pump and it fit and it works. We're gonna see if it has enough pressure to push water through the thermostat that I now have installed properly. Something tells me, oh, I also put a different rubber grommet in. Some of these outboards, depends on which one, it's got a longer extension. I didn't think it's meant for this one, but if you look at the tube, the water tube is set. So the grommet goes in a set mounting spot and the water tube goes in that. So I think it's gonna work better, at least for sealing wise. Now, will that water pump water like we need it? Let's find out. I got my heat gun at the ready. I got the throttle back down to a lower spot. Let's see if it starts on super low idle. That's amazing. This motor does run beautifully. Ow. A little more throttle. gonna stop water flow. Come on, open up. Butter. So I think the thermostat's open. I just, again, think the idle is not pushing the power water up. Stop. There it goes. Scalding hot, scalding hot. Still scalding hot. It's cooling. It just doesn't like to cool at lower temperature, lower throttle. Let's see if we can keep the water stream steady on a low throttle. Not intermittent anymore. I'll give it that. Oh, I had to speak too soon. Yeah, that's a problem. This is the third water pump this thing has had, and it just doesn't want to pump at a low. I thought I had it with that other grommet. All right, now I'm forcing water with the muffs a little better. Peeing better now. Maybe it is the muffs. We've had it in the barrel, did the same thing, but it's definitely not intermittent. Yeah, squeezing the muffs, it comes out real strong. Can get it to run and cool. She's just picky. Doesn't like the low throttle, but at high speed we should be fine. Because it does pump and it does cool while it's pumping. So we know we got water going through the right spots and to the right spots. So let's put it together and get it on the water. That's the next time you'll see this motor. Sorry for hopping from motor to motor, but appreciate the advice. You were right, that thermostat wasn't backwards, and it's definitely not intermittent. It's just not pumping at low idle on a third new impeller. There's no obstructions, there's no blockages, I'm convinced. I do have one more theory. My other theory is those grommets underneath are too flat. They need to be up a little. So maybe water is, instead of shooting straight into the power head, seeping through the bottom base gasket, which would require another power head removal. Should have changed and put new grommets in while I had it off. That's on me, but if we can put it on the water and if we can get it to pump water at low idle, we'll go from there. We're gonna have to stay close to the dock though, because if she overheats, we SRCRBWD. Alright, we're gonna try to start the 15 horsepower, see if she runs. The problem is it's gotta idle while I undo the lines, so the chances of it overheating are a possibility, but we can always raise the idle if that's truly the problem. Pumping water right now at low idle, but it's intermittent again. So I don't overheat, I'm gonna kick the idle up a little bit. Hold on. Hold that tripod. Yeah, so it doesn't fall over. The thing runs flawlessly. want blackout Bill, we want motor. Okay, not bad. Maybe move the tripod over on this side. So with the lower idle, it is pumping. Not intermittently. But we're also trolling, so if I bring it down, intermittent, it like sputters. But all right, let's give her full speed, see what we got. As long as that water stream stays steady, I'm not worried about it. She is not running like a 15 horsepower motor. About 3,000 RPM, should be way higher than this. Disappointing, man. His boat is just a dog. But it is cooling. I wouldn't even be so far as not to blame that stupid garbage raider, that freaking plastic top piece of poop. Now we're low tide here. I don't know how deep this gets. I think I'm gonna spin it around and go the other way. Not gonna be a long boat trip, just testing this motor. Runs great, pumping water, just no high speed. Why are we going so slow? I can't wait to get that 30 horsepower on here. This is terrible. Dog. Now, is it trimmed down too much? Let's try it trimmed up a scotch. Put it in neutral and already it's sputtering the water flow. I don't know what that's about. That's trimmed up. Let's see if we can make some moves here. No difference. It's just the water. That's the color of the water because the bottom is all brown. Yeah, this is not. I mean, maybe one cylinder. It sounds smooth. It's low RPM for some reason. It's not gonna overheat though, so that's nice. I mean, how boring is this? 14-foot deep V-hole, 15 horsepower. I'm not even on plane. It's just me and my son in the boat, my younger son. 9.9 horsepower gets us on plane. I don't even know how deep it is over here. We're gonna spin around. I also want to trim this thing back down. All right. I misspoke earlier. Everybody hold on to your britches. Hopefully I'm not in the shot again. Can't really see. So, wasn't going very fast. Because Blackout Bill's an idiot. It was not full throttle. I guess it felt like it was, but I literally was not full throttle. So let's try that again at full throttle. We gotta spin around though because we're too far. So again, this motor, it does not want to idle and pump water. It 3 water pumps now. Could be the impellers. I just highly doubt it. There could be still some blockages in there, but as long as you're cruising, not trolling, you got to keep attention to that water stream. It runs beautifully. I really like this motor, and it's always ran beautifully, like perfectly. Now it's sputtering. Yeah, it's just an intermittent flow, but pumps, and it's scalding hot right now because the motor's hot. It needs cooling water. But all right, check this thing out, guys. You're gonna love this. I love it. Me and Matthew were cruising, and the water
so we'll get a better speed going, you know, as if it was choppy. Not full plane yet. We can get a top speed. Here we go, just getting up there. I stop swerving left and right. Forward, I got Matthew in the front middle to help me with the weight distribution. Right now, 10 miles an hour. Lifeguard jacket, Coast Guard approved life PFD, personal flotation device. Kids under 12 have to wear them. It's a little kiddie, but he likes it. It's if we go swimming too, he's a big swimmer. Fish are jumping, I didn't bring any fish poles. Blackout Bill is not the fisherman. Matthew's a good fisherman. Blackout Bill, not so much. Gorgeous day out here. Just gorgeous. Susie is strictly a backup. I really didn't know if this motor was going to overheat or die or perform well at all. Now we're cruising to Raritan, just seeing what's out there. This is a saltwater waterway. We will definitely give her a flush when we get home. Ship her to its new owner. Turned out well. Big old props to the outboard tinker. Good call on that thermostat. Still intermittent and slow idle, but as long as you're not trolling with this thing, you're good. I know a lot of people like to troll with this motor. It's just not gonna happen. Cool, right? You're gonna have to find a better outboard mechanic to figure out why. All right, let's punch it back up. What's my camera angle at? By the way, if anybody's wondering. 1980 something. Get a top speed, flip the camera around, get you a view of what top speed looks like. It just takes a while, man. Climbs, and then boom. Good prop on this thing, you do 20. the Hitchcock film.
All right. Watch another video while you're here. Like the video. Start liking these things because we're going to get the word out. Black Out Bill. And put Outboard Tinkerer's channel here. Check him out. Give him a sub. And a big old thumbs up. We're diagnosing, we're figuring, we're finding, we're learning. Black Up, we'll see you in the next video.